I'm personally really happy that I moved to Alabama the year that he moved out. Because I've never lost to him. He's the only person here I haven't lost to. Our next inductee is Joc Simmons. And Joc is from Huntsville. He is going to be introduced by his son Parrish. Parrish, who is a senior in high school, has accepted a Division I scholarship to be a Cardinal at Ball State in Indiana. So at this time, I'd like Parrish to come up and introduce his dad. Look, son.
First off, I wanted to thank everybody for coming out today. Congratulate my dad, Joc Simmons, on this opportunity to get inducted into the Alabama Tennis Hall of Fame. It has been an honor to play tennis and represent the state of Alabama. Tennis has always been kind of a lifestyle for me. I grew up in Greenville, Mississippi, and we were at tennis courts all the time. You know, I was dragging around my racket, asking anybody to hit. So, most people might not know Joc. Most people might know him from his accomplishments. You know, winning the NCAAs, he was #1 in the nation in doubles, played in the US Open. But sometimes they don't know the sacrifices that he had to make for this sport. It takes a toll on your body after a while playing every day. Long days of teaching in 95-degree heat or in the 40-degree cold and it's windy, taking off Fridays and Mondays to take me to tournaments and turn around and do the exact same thing 2 weeks later. But all these things can't compare with the amazing memories that have been made along the way. Sitting in hotel rooms for hours complaining how bored we are. We don't want to come back. Do the next thing 2 weeks later. And then going to Buffalo Wild Wings to watch football and going back the next day because we don't know where else to eat. Playing many tennis matches out in the front yard. That's about the only time he hits with me now, but you know, can't complain. It's really fun. These little things have created an unbreakable bond between us, something I will forever be grateful for. Not only do I look to follow in his footsteps as a tennis player, but as the amazing person and father he has been. Thank you for everything you've done, and congratulations on your success with tennis for the state of Alabama. Please welcome Joc Simmons.
How am I going to follow that? That was great, Parrish. You guys get some visual aids too. A little of that. Some of these. Thank you guys. What an honor to be up here. A lot of familiar faces, a lot of family. My mom and dad, thank you for coming from Florida and from Oklahoma. My border control, a lot of tennis fans over there. My in-laws that I love with all my heart, and my family. Just an honor to be here, you guys. We're going to flash back now. 1984, my first Boys 12 national tournament. There are two famous people in this picture. One in a good way, one not a good way. First of all, the crime of the century was committed from one of these boys. Eric Menendez and his brother, Lyle Menendez. Don't know if you've heard of them. They shot their parents in Beverly Hills, but Eric Menendez was seated at this tournament. I'm in there too. The other guy in this tournament, pretty famous, you've probably heard of him, he's a tennis player, his name's Michael Chang. And yes, I did play Michael Chang in doubles at this tournament. So that was 1984. So let's fast forward, you guys. Let's go to 1994. It was a good year for Joc. I'm playing tennis at Mississippi State. We land at the Notre Dame airport for the NCAA tournament. And I have a bunch of foreigners on my team, so they don't know who this guy is, but I see this man sitting on his luggage like this. I said, Coach, guess who that is? It's Muhammad Ali. So I run out there, Mr. Ali, can we have our picture with you? And sure enough, he stands up. He's got Parkinson's or whatever. He's shaking, but he stood there and took pictures with us and our team. Quite an experience. And from there, it got even better. So we go to the tennis tournament in Notre Dame. The greatest football coach ever, Lou Holtz, is speaking at our banquet. I wasn't ready to play tennis when I was done listening to him. I was ready to go play football for Lou Holtz in Notre Dame. It was, your hair is up on end. That guy was so good. And then the tennis began. So our team sitting there at Notre Dame in front of Touchdown Jesus, their football mural, and we had a little tennis miracle. Our team finished third. I finished in the quarterfinals of singles, and my doubles partner and I won the national championship. It was quite an honor. It was a big one. It was still a good year though. Winning the doubles gave us a wild card into the U.S. Open. So we go to the U.S. Open in New York City, and I can't believe this name was brought up earlier. We go to an exhibition a couple days before, and we're playing and we're done. And this guy right here, Stan Smith, one of the greatest tennis players ever in the 70s, maybe the 60s too. He says, I hear you guys are going to the Open. Why don't you hop in my limo and I'll go check you in? Okay. Stan Smith, a superstar. That's like going with LeBron James in his limo. So we go to the U.S. Open, Stan Smith in his limo, checking us in. Guess what they give you at the U.S. Open when you sign in? No gold bracelets, no gold rings. They give you a pullover. This is your player's jacket from the 1994 U.S. Open. So Jerry, you guys worrying about like party gifts and tournament things? If they're only doing pullovers at the Open, we're okay with shirts. And so our match finally, we're about ready to play our match. We ended up getting the feature match at night, grandstand court, about 9 o'clock. I'm up there in the locker room. Guess who's standing right there? Michael Chang. He's about to go out on center court, and we're about to go out on grandstand court. Walker Ash Stadium wasn't built then. And I go, hey Michael, you remember doubles? A long time ago you played with a guy named Marco Zuniga? He goes, yeah, that was my partner in juniors. I said, well, I played you here in 1984. And so we walked out to the crowd, blazing through there, people cheering. Whew, what an experience. Michael went on to win his match. My partner and I lost 6-0, 6-1 in about 20 minutes. So anybody out there that has lost 6-0, 6-1, come talk to me and I'll comfort you. That was about the highlight of my college career. Pretty good. Along the way, got a few rings, 3 Big 8 championship rings, one for singles, doubles, and team. I only have one right now because my coach was mad I transferred, so he kept 2 of them for himself. So I transferred to Mississippi State, got a nice little SEC championship ring, and then we get a national championship ring. Pretty good bling along the way. But that's not the ring that counts the most. It's this one right here, you guys. The wedding ring. 22 years. Awesome. Kids have a 22 year anniversary. That's the ring that means everything. And so we're transitioning from playing tennis competitively to a family life and teaching as a career. So we spent our first couple of years in Fort Worth, Texas, and then we moved to Greenville, Mississippi, and we were there 5 years, just loving Greenville, Mississippi. I was teaching a lesson one time, and then this guy runs out on my court. I'm like, who is that? Who is that? It was Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice in Greenville, Mississippi. So he signed my hat, and Archie Manning and Peyton Manning come through Greenville Golf and Country Club. I'm going, this is pretty cool. So Paris was about 3 or 4 at the time, and we were ready to move on from Greenville. And Ashley said, there's a job opening in Alabama. I go, okay, Alabama. And then she said, it's a 24 clay court facility in Huntsville. I'm like, okay, this sounds good. And then I started looking at the Chamber of Commerce about Huntsville and all of Alabama. And then you see it's a top 10 city to raise a family. a top 10 small high-tech, one of the top 10 most high-tech cities in America for small cities, the guided missile capital of the world. And I'm going, oh honey, let's get to Alabama. And sure enough, we got the call and I got the job. And that was a great day. Talk about a miracle. Very happy. 2005, May 10th, we opened Huntsville Tennis Center. And it's been just an awesome experience since then. I've come across so many great people, worked with so many great organizations. I have some ladies here from the Huntsville Women's Tennis Association, just awesome. We have the Huntsville Area Tennis Association that promotes tennis, new growth. They are so great to work with also. Thank you for some of my board of control members for being here. You guys did an awesome job. Along the way, Huntsville was home. And then Parrish is about 8 at the time, and so we start to travel. And now we're going to Birmingham and then Montgomery. And we're starting to meet more and more people. And our Alabama family's growing. And we're just becoming immersed in Alabama. We start going to bigger tournaments. Where are you guys from? And the pride started to set in. We're from Alabama. And that's just 14 years of it. And now we've also had these adult tournaments, something called Southern Cup, the Crown Jewel Adult Tournament. Top 3 players from each state play in the 35s, 45s, 55s, 65s, and 75s. And it is an honor to play for you guys and to be Team Alabama. And there's a few teammates here that I see. You can always find the men's 35s and 45s. We're over in the trees after our matches, sitting with IV needles. Eddie's usually bleeding somewhere with a couple of them sticking out. And where's Calvert? Calvert's got ice bags all over him. And you guys, it's just been an awesome journey, not just from Huntsville Tennis Center, not from traveling for like tennis, but all the people and all the great people that we've known and that we're meeting across the way. So in closing, thank you guys so much for the induction into the Alabama Tennis Hall of Fame. It's such an honor. Thank you so much for that. I'd like to thank my family, my mom and my dad for being here. My wife, 22 years of awesomeness. Thank you, kids. I'd like to thank my in-laws, Mark and Allison, for coming, and Michelle and her fiance, Jim. Thank you. And my great mother-in-law, Mama Jean. You guys couldn't do this without you guys. Also, I'd like to thank my board of control for being here and all my tennis friends. And you guys, we couldn't do this without the most important group of them all, and thank you the most, Alabama Tennis Association. You guys have done so much. I've enjoyed working with you in committees. I enjoy playing for you for Team Alabama. And most importantly, I want to keep that growth going in Huntsville for more tennis so we can keep doing this every year. You guys, thank you so much. What a great honor.
One housekeeping thing I need my 4 award winners to stay for a minute to have some pictures made. For the rest of us, the bars will be open so you can visit for a while. On behalf of USTA Alabama, thank you so much for being here. Leave with our prayer that you have safe travels. And a special thanks to all of our standing Hall of Fame members and our new Hall of Fame members. We expect you back every year. Thank you and good night.